The 4 Champions League matches will go ahead. As I mentioned, the Valencia game behind closed doors, as will be the PSG Borussia Dortmund match. Remember, Dortmund with a 2-1 lead in the first leg, going into that second leg in Paris. Who has the advantage going into this game, given that there will be no home support?
I have to imagine it's Borussia Dortmund. Not only do they have the advantage in the score, but now they're going to play a game that is not really an away game. It's more of a neutral side game, if you will, because you don't have the environment of the stadium. Now, PSG can argue, say, you know what? This is our stadium, it's a locker room, it's our surroundings. But is it really your surroundings? It's not what you're used to. It's not getting the feedback from your crowd, from your supporters, understanding that you're performing, that you're on a stage, and that you're going to get that immediate feedback generated from your supporters. Now, you could also argue, if you want to make this point, that you're also not going to get the anxiety of fans that know you have to score goals, that know you're trailing in the scoreboard, and that maybe push you to do silly things out on the field because they get desperate, you also get desperate as well. If you're an optimist for PSG and you're a player that is kind of trying to deal with this mentally, maybe that's the way you portray it. And you tell yourself in your mind, you know what? We're just going to go out and play. And we're a better team. We have better players. We'll execute on the day. And regardless of what's happening or not happening in the stadium for that matter, we're going to be able to deliver the result that we need.
Dom, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with everything Ali's just said there. It's difficult. I've not played behind closed doors before, so I can't imagine what your adrenaline spikes would be like during the game. It must be very hard, even though it's a Champions League game in a massive game. It must be internally different to try and deal with. I think Dortmund would have the advantage for the reasons that Ali said. You know, they've got the scoreline in their favour. There's not a hostile atmosphere in Paris. So they can go into that game, I would imagine, a little bit more or a little bit less, stress-free. Always difficult. You know, when you think of when Liverpool have been at their best and they've played at Anfield, they've always needed, in the very biggest of games, that hostile atmosphere at Anfield. So I would imagine in that tie, Dortmund will be the favourites.
We all heard the our best, don't worry, Don. Meanwhile, Steve, it's the last time you were on before Liverpool take on Atleti. We saw in that graphic Atleti's slight favourites going into the second leg to advance.
Do you know what? The closer I get to the game, the more worried I'm getting. I was kind of a little brazen. We spoke about it on Saturday,
yes,
and I thought Liverpool should be favourites because it's at Anfield. But the closer I get to the game, and the more I think about the way Liverpool playing, and the more I think about how defensively they're letting any team, we're talking the team at the bottom of the league in Norwich to the team at the top of the league, or second top in City, they're letting everybody have chances and scoring goals, and Adrian is going to be in net.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried, and I kind of agree with the bookies right now, I think.
So you think Atleti are going to go through?
I think Atleti...
Wow, Stevie.
I think
what 48 hours you've had?
Honestly. Well, I've done it yesterday to think
you
about
had a revelation or something?
So you think Liverpool are out?
The closer I'm getting to the game, the more worried I am.
Liverpool legend Steve Nicol says that out.
Is this a double bluff?
I didn't say
a double bluff.
No, listen, you were just talking about PSG and Borussia Dortmund, right? And the rationale is absolutely spot on. And my rationale about being worried about this is spot on as well, because, as I said, they're leaking goals and giving up chances.
It's not often your rationale spot on, to be fair. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Leipzig taking on Spurs. They've got a 1-0 lead going into this tie, which obviously is at home as well, Don. Difficult to put up an argument, isn't it, as to why Spurs are going through here?
Yeah, I think so. The noises coming out of Tottenham ain't good. Jose Mourinho's had a real go at Ndombele today. He's called him unfit. He said in the game at the weekend that Spurs played without a midfield. So he's obviously testing him like he tested Luke Shaw. So it's going to be a test on what his character's like. Can he bounce back from that criticism? They've got no Kane, no Son. Steven Bergwijn's now out apparently till the end of the season with a badly sprained ankle. So their forward line's getting depleted by the week. Not a great performance against Burnley. You know, lucky to come out of that game with just a point. They should have lost that game. So I can't imagine in Leipzig that Spurs are going to rock up and overturn that scoreline.
And finally, Gab, in front of an empty Mestalla, Valencia against Atalanta. It was a fun first leg, wasn't it? Atalanta winning by 4-1. It could have been so much more for both sides. Are you expecting more of the same in this second leg?
Yeah, look, Atalanta aren't going to deviate from the way they play. This is what they always do: home and away, packed stadium, empty stadium, PlayStation. It's all the same to them. So as I see it, I think Atalanta are pretty firm favourites to go through.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.